Leopoldstadt is about a Viennese Jewish family.
We span from before the First World War, after the First World War, entering the beginning of the Second World War, and post-World War II.
It is a story of terrifying destruction of a family, but also the big questions of should they try to assimilate as deeply as possible into Viennese culture, or should they put their weight behind a Jewish state?
So this play was written by Tom Stoppard, who is one of the most brilliant living playwrights. His turn of phrase, the language itself, is incredible.
He has been one of the most significant English-speaking playwrights since he wrote Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead. And I think the reason people loved his work so much is that it's sort of this delicious combination of intellect and wit and heart.
His personal relationships are the most specific and elemental and visceral. So yeah, that's Tom Stoppard. I kind of love him.
You could rebel against your own ruling class.
Parts of it are actually autobiographical, and he really draws directly from his life. Leo actually represents Tom.
And it reckons with his own sense of culpability at thinking he'd lived a charmed life when all of his relatives perished.
I think there's a way to look at the play connected to the events that are happening in the world right now.
Great political change can happen very, very quickly, and safety can disappear.
There was profound anti-Semitism, but at the same time, this was an incredible fluorescence of Jewish creativity in the creative arts. And so there are people in this family who know they have to get out, and people who hunker down and say, it's been bad before, it's gonna get better, why should we leave?
When are we aware that the water's boiling? Unfortunately, it's a question that is as relevant today as it ever was.
It is an enormous family, so the hardest thing to do is to keep track of the family tree.
We're in the middle of our second week of rehearsal, and we've spent the first week and a half being like, so wait, he's my sister-in-law's sister-in-law's son?
It's a play about relationships, which is ironic because there's so many relationships to track. That's really the backbone of this play, all of these relationships and how they are different from couple to sibling. Every single one of these people interacts in their own way. I think those are the details that really make the play special.
It's both very personally meaningful to each one of us in the room, Jewish or not, at this moment in history, and it's so beautifully constructed. There's something about getting inside the Stoppard River and just swimming in it that is really thrilling. It takes you along.
It's an extremely joyful process.
If there's one thing that I would want people to take away, it would be a connection to the human condition.
I hope that people leave this play thinking about the memory of their ancestors.
Stoppard and I sort of bonded over our histories. He was really interested in that. He got to know my mother, my whole family, over many, many, many decades of collaborating. And we had a lot of dialogue about, you know, how do you write about these seismic historical events in ways that feel fresh and new and alive and personal? And that's what I think is so extraordinary about Leopoldstadt.